My business is shoveling manure. I'm usually first in the morning to make sure everything's nice and clean and everybody's fed and happy. I recommend everybody come out to the fair. It's a great time. You get on the rides, the food is great, but most of all you get to meet all the volunteers here, a great bunch of people out in the boonies here, and we enjoy ourselves. We enjoy spreading education to especially the young. We educate everybody here, including teachers. We educate old, young, medium, we don't care. We'll give you information that you want. I will see you in September at the fair.
I think Ancaster Fair helps showcase all the wonderful things that agriculture does in our local community and helps people understand where their food really comes from. So I want to see you there at the fair.
As the Hamilton Wentworth dairy educator, I go into the classrooms across the Hamilton district and I teach kids about milk, where milk comes from, how we get milk from the cow, all the way to you at home. So come visit me at the fair in Old McDonald's Farm. Be there at the 2016 Ancaster Fair.
We'll see you at the fair, and we'll be there again for all 5 days. Talking about the fair, we have about 5 or 6 members of our club. We put honey in and we sell it at the fair, and we demonstrate beekeeping, and we have a lot of fun. When they come to the fair and they talk about bees, the first thing they say, how's the bees doing? But I always tell them that the bees, they've been here for 20 million years, and you and I not going to kill them. They're going to survive.
The Ancaster Fair is a great time for young people to come and learn about different farm animals and about farming, and to have fun, go on the rides, there's lots of good food, and it's just a fun time to come here at the fair. We love people who want to come and volunteer, so come on down and become a volunteer here at the Ancaster Agricultural Society. I've been volunteering since I was 10 years old here at the fair. So every year here at the Ancaster Fair, we have lots of fun, and it's a very good time, even though it's only 4 days long. Come and meet me at the fair here.
My grandfather and grandmother had a Jersey farm called Trinidale Jerseys, and my mother was on the front of the Jersey Journal back in 1940-something as the cover girl. Yeah, imagine that, a cover girl on a cow magazine. And she won first prize with her Jersey cow. Now, my grandfather was a past president of the Ancaster Agricultural Society. My grandmother was a past president of the Homecraft, part of the Ancaster Agricultural Society. And we now have the family tradition. So, my mother, she was president for the Homecraft, and she went on to be president of the Ontario Association of Agricultural Societies. And, well, I guess I followed in everybody's footsteps. See you at the fair.
My biggest hoot is just watching people come into the fair and their looks on their faces when they see a different animal, or a young child looking at a 2-day-old chick, or a rabbit, a horse, a llama, whatever we have in the barn. People watching is one of the things I really like to do at Ancaster Fair. We have a good selection of vendors here for food at the fair, everything from Greek to fennel cakes, chicken, pork, beef, whatever you want. We have that here at the fair through our vendors. We also have an official dining room. We have catered for official meals and stuff like that. It's an ongoing thing. It's not just at fair time. There's horse shows throughout the year, clean up after the horse shows. Festival of Friends is here at the fair. Come out to Ancaster Fair and reintroduce yourself to agriculture. Hope to see you at Ancaster Fair.
So when I first became involved with the society, the fair was certainly much smaller than it is now. As I've seen in the last 2 years, our attendance at the fair has grown to record numbers this past year, and our number of volunteers and programs that we've been doing has also been at the highest level. So it's been exciting to see. Oftentimes people will expect just to see the midway rides, which is important to see, but there's also many educational things that the youngsters can see. We dedicate our Fridays to Education Day for all the school kids to come. For this year, for 2016, our Ancaster Fair, we are hosting the RCMP musical ride for the first time in many years. We're having it Friday and Saturday of the fair, and we'd love to see everybody come out and see it. Enjoy yourselves. See you at the fair.
I have been associated with the fair my entire life. As a small child, I would go to meetings along with my mother with a box of crayons and paper and sit and color while the meetings were on, and it just became a part of my blood. I have seen a lot more committees formed. I have seen the membership triple in the last 25 years, and there's a lot more interest from the public coming to the fair to see what wonderful things we have. It's a great place to come and be unplugged. Because there is so much to see, so much to do, that they don't need their phones, they don't need their games, they can have fun here. See you at the fair.
It's a little bit of everything, and it's still fun for the whole family. So you've got action, adventure with the rides, and you've got education and a lot of fun with the petting zoo at Old McDonald's Barn. The other fair exhibits, it's educational and it's still fun. This year, for sure, we have the musical ride coming, and if you've never seen that before, it's spectacular. And then we have some fair fun competitions, so if you've never tried log sawing or you want to enter an apple peeling contest, you watch for those spots on the program that say fair fun. Oh, I'll see you at the fair. One of my favorite things to do at the fair is to just stand back and watch the children watching the baby chicks. It's adorable. They learn about livestock and nature, but just those cute, fluffy little birds and the kids' faces, it's magical.
Basically, I live at the fair the week before the fair. All of these people that come in and pay, the commercial exhibits, the volunteer food routes, and that are all basically one large family of the fair. And people come to the fair every year looking for a lot of these people to be back to the fair year after year after year. So it becomes really an extended family at fair time. This year, as a big change, we're putting up a big commercial tent to move stuff inside. One of the biggest challenges we always have at the fall fair is the weatherman doesn't always cooperate. So being a progressive fair, we're renting a big tent and moving a bunch of stuff inside so that people will be out of the elements, both if it's too hot or, heaven forbid, we get a rain shower. Yeah, one of the things that we always try to do when we're looking at the list of people that we want to have in from commercial exhibits is to make sure we have a wide variety that's going to appease and appeal to everybody in the family, from the very young to the very old. The same goes for the Midway. Every year when we set the Midway up, we look to have a arrangement of rides that will be of interest to all members of the family. Yeah, we're always looking for new people coming into the community to get involved with the fair. And you can spend as little time in here or as much time as you want, but it's always interesting to have different points of view and different views on what should be at the fair and what would be of interest to a lot of new people that are moving into this area of the community. I see you at the fair.
There's always something exciting. The sheep show, cattle show, horses, and then the displays in the Merritt Hall for the homecraft. I do a lot of picture taking around the fair, and then we put it on display at our appreciation night. So those who didn't get out to see the things happening, they can see them on display at the appreciation night. That's when we hand out our awards for our Hard Points winners. See you at the fair.
This year at the fair, I'll be entering my canning, baking, and photography, as well as coordinating with our fair ambassador to make sure that she gets everywhere that she can be during the fair, as well as hopefully enjoying a bit of the fair myself, but also assisting with the livestock shows over at the sheep building. By never experiencing a fair, you're missing out on the sights, the smells, the excitement, and just the overall energy of actually being at an agricultural fair. I would say that it gets you more in touch with your untapped agricultural roots. Learn to find out where everything does come from. At an agricultural fair, you'd be surprised how many people, they have no idea where milk comes from or where vegetables come from. A lot of people, they just figure it comes off of grocery store shelves. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone at the Ancaster Fair, and it's definitely not something to miss. See you at the fair.
I enjoy canning, have canned since 1968. Yes, I got involved because of my husband, actually, and we're very actively involved. I make jams and jellies. I do all kinds of relishes, fruits, you name it. I have done most of it. The rhubarb season's out, so pretty soon I'll be making my rhubarb jelly. I have a good friend of mine that buys some of my stuff that she just loves it. And I have my own rhubarb, and I have black caps, and I make my own black cap jelly, and anything that's homegrown, I go and pick it, and I make it. Well, I have been with the canning committee for many, many years, and we have met such great people in the past and present, I'm hoping, and we encourage them to come back, and we have the younger kids coming out, and it's that first ribbon that they get. It's not always the red ones. It could be a blue one. But I said that ribbon really makes it. And they're so thrilled to see that. And we encourage the kids to come out. See you at the fair.
We need help setting up. We need help taking things down when the fair is over. We have different events through the year that we quite often need help and volunteers with. We welcome new volunteers, particularly the young and strong ones. We need your help, and you'll have a great time. You'll meet new friends, you'll make new friends. There is always some kind of a new event going on. Most people want to come and see the horses. They want to see the displays in Merritt Hall, all the people that have entered that say what they've sewn, what they've knitted, what they've baked, what they've grown. Is all in Merritt Hall. See you at the fair.
The horticulture is just inside the door downstairs here, and for this year coming. And the baby show is over with the Old McDonald's Farm in the education building. See you at the fair.
Actually, I'm one of the new kids on the block. I moved from Mississauga here to Ancaster 6 years ago, and through attending the fair, I wanted to be involved. I started entering crafts and flower arrangements into the different categories, into horticulture. And that's when I became involved, and I thought, I want to be a part of this. It looks like fun. Things are so different. Like, people are so friendly, and it's just, it's different than living in the city. It's a slower pace. We find we buy a lot of our fruits and vegetables locally, so we're eating a lot healthier, supporting our local farmers, and it's just, I think we're going to live longer. I'm very happy living in this community and living in Ancaster, and I've met a lot of great friends, and being involved with the Ancaster Fair has allowed me to do that, and even expressing and your creativity with all the competitions that are at the fair, and that friendly competitions, and if you're lucky you win a ribbon and a little bit of money. I want to see you at the fair.
It's been happy bringing my kids and my grandkids to the fair. They get to see the animals, they get to see demolition derby, the big animals, the horses, the little animals, the little ducks and stuff, and they love it. I do have a sense of responsibility as a volunteer. Do a good job, raise money for the fair, spread the fair word, getting people out to the fair. It makes you feel good when you contribute in a positive way. It makes you feel young and useful, and see you at the fair.
Well, I used to show horses here for many years at the old fairgrounds. And Randy Baker was head of the horse committees at that time, and he said, I need somebody to head up some committees. Okay. So I joined the Ancaster Fair as a horse committee member, and he said, well, we're starting a new committee, and I need somebody to run it. It was me. Sometimes you think, all the work, is it worth it? And then you'll see something at the fair, and yep, it's worth it. In the art committee, we have some sculptural classes and some mosaic classes, which are really starting to take off. People are realizing that I can do that. I can exhibit that when they see something at the fair and they go, oh, I can do that, or I did that back in the 70s, whatever, if they're of that age group. And my mother was involved in the art department back in the 70s, and as a child I used to come to the fair and I would sit quietly in a corner with my homework while she was watching the art. The schools used to give us little packets of seeds, and I can remember clearly coming home, racing home with a packet of gourd seeds. Going, we have to go plant these so I can enter in the fair. When I started baking, I would bake cookies to enter in the fair, and it was a great thing on going back to school with a first prize ribbon saying, my chocolate chip cookies won. See you at the fair.
And they had school races, you know. And I remember I was in one of the races, and I was falling behind because I was such a little shrimp, you might say. And I showed up. My father put chickens in for me, and we put flowers in and eggs, and that. And they were in tents then. But that was a long time ago when I was a child. See you at the fair.
I call myself the little girl who grew up on this farm. I was born and raised here. My grandfather owned this farm from 1902 to 1953. This was my home. We'll make you feel right at home at the Ancaster Fair. Hope to see you there.
See you at the fair.